that's how I was getting my friends to do my complex repairs on my car. Pack and it's a really nice beer.
After the repairs made. For the
Yeah, so you can.
Okay, so I have to make one short correction here too. Okay. Okay, you'll notice at the next step I say go to right directory and run.
Oh, you need a directory.
I guess I'll just assume everyone knew what the right directory was.
Yeah.
Magic of paste. There it is. Okay.
Just figure for the site for future reference.
Okay, I found the right directory. You need to CD into this directory, Austin IoT Workshop, Workshop 4, into the Adafruit Python DHT Master directory. And you should be able to tab complete that every step of the way. The folks at Adafruit were kind enough to prepare some sample code here, make it freely available for the whole world to use. And that's what we did. And then once you get into there, go ahead and run sudo python setup.py install. Is it everyone done that?
No, not yet.
Okay. Can everybody see that okay in the back? No?
Not even close.
Oops.
Is that better?
That's better.
You are here.
Can I ask a moderately dumb next question?
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
So if you have, so like on the Pi, you have an Ethernet and a Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And can they both be active at the same time? Do you have to do special configuration? Do you, like, what's the recommended way of hooking things up? I mean, I have a laptop and a Pi, and both of them have Ethernet and Wi-Fi. And right now I've got a cable between the two, but I need to get the internet to my Pi. So do I share it from the laptop? Do I have to share that and then set the router, the default gateway on the Pi to point to the laptop, and he just will route? Or
I think Cameron knows how to do it that way,
It's
but
the recommended
the way I have mine set up is my Wi-Fi actually connects to that router.
on your Pi?
My Pi does.
Yeah.
My Wi-Fi Pi connects to that router, as does my laptop.
And how did you bootstrap that? Did you require a keyboard, or did you need SSH in and then configure?
SSH in.
Yeah, so typically for the first configuration, first time you're
Wire SSH in.
is wiring over Ethernet directly from your laptop in, or have it directly connected to your router, and then go in and update your Wi-Fi settings in your network interfaces configuration file, and then reboot it, and then it should join the router. And then so.
We covered that I think in workshop 1, and I'm in the process of getting all the workshop 1 or the previous workshop documentation onto the website.
I think in workshop 1, okay, I'll do it. I maybe shared the Ethernet from the laptop and just had it only hardwired. Okay, never mind, got back. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, has everybody run sudo python setup pi install?
I've got a syntax error when it's doing everything.
Does anyone run it successfully? Did you try copy paste it or did you type it?
I typed it. Well, I mean, it did most of the stuff, and then it said it got a syntax error on import dot test underscore drivers driver. So it ran most of it.
Yes, I got the same syntax error.
So that would be on their package, so. So if you, is there an import that you're using?
On setup.py?
No, like, so when you run setup.py, it's adding the Adafruit Python stuff to your source Python. So is there a module that you import to use it?
Not that
Just to, as a test to make sure that it's fully installed?
Let me try running it on mine again, see what happens.
Well, and if you've already got it installed. I've never done that. Python setup with Pi before.
That was part of the Adafruit steps.
That's new to me.
Yeah, I'm getting it now too. I didn't get this the first time.
Now you in Python 2.7 or Python 3?
It should be in Python 3.4.
Okay.
3.4.3.
No, so this is where what we'll talk about in the road to code stuff. Now, when you do a sudo Python install, that installs it into the main Python stuff. So it's not properly getting installed into your Miniconda Python.
Okay.
So yeah, so when you sudo it, so if you do sudo Python version, that will then call the Python that's part of Raspbian.
Okay. So try it without the sudo.
Well, so do sudo Python version.
Oh.
And so then it looks like it's going in Python 2.7.
Okay.
So that's where this is getting installed to, unless you have a virtual environment, you activate that virtual environment and then run the setup.py inside that virtual environment. It's a whole bunch of path stuff.
How come I didn't have to do any of that the first time?
I'll bet you were in.
You might have had when you were running your Python code, are you doing sudo Python to run the script?
To run the script, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's calling the Python 2.7,
Okay.
in which you installed all of that other stuff.
Okay.
Can he do sudo Python 3?
Yes, you should have also Python 3 as part of the latest Raspbian.
I get the same error with the Python 3.
Oh, okay.
So how do we get out of this?
And if I don't do sudo, I get permission denied.
Yeah, and that's because you're not in a virtual and do you have Miniconda on your Pi?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because you're not in a virtual and so you do need sudo permissions. Do you have your Miniconda virtual env activated? So like, do you have a virtual env or you?
On the command line, it's a little.
No, I
pretty
don't.
good.
No, I don't have it.
Oh, okay, so you're just.
See? Mine works.
Now do this one.
That's because you're running sudo, this Python script. And so that doesn't call Minicon to Python, that calls Python 2.7 or Python 3 as part of the operating system. And so if you were to take sudo off of that, it wouldn't run.
Okay, but to build the series of steps that I did not ever touch the mini conda or the conda or.
Correct. But when you, when you type Python and launch Python, it'll launch Minicon to Python, not Python 3 or 2.7.
But I still don't understand how I made it through the first time.
So when you run the sudo Python install or sudo Python setup.py, that installs all of those packages to the operating system Python,
Yes.
not the Minicon to Python.
That's complicated.
But isn't that what we did earlier?
Yes. Now, in order for those scripts to run, you also then have to say sudo Python my Python script,
Yeah.
which will then call the operating system Python, not the Minicon to Python.
Okay, and every step that we've done to this point have all been pseudo.
Correct. So you just have to make sure that you keep on using sudo to execute your Python scripts.
Well, we're trying to figure out how to get past the syntax.
That sounds like it's something on their package side, because it's checking the driver.
I think it still works. I think
Yeah, it
if you
should still
keep
work.
going,
Because if you run it, it still works. Yeah, it's just like a checksum basically. Yeah, a test.
Okay,
It's a test to make sure that the driver's there.
there's mine, it's 22 degrees, 60% humidity.
Celsius.
Yeah.
Celsius.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that. Should we keep going?
Yes,
That's
sir.
good.
All right. Okay, so next thing you need to do is switch directory to the examples directory. Oh boy, yeah, that's hard, really hard to read. Isn't it? Let me see if I can make that bigger. Is that better?
Yeah.
Alright. So, yeah, I don't know if y'all can see, on every line here, you can see what directory I'm in, and, it's the one that ends in examples.
So I wonder if all of our readings are gonna be the same as yours. I mean, if they're all gonna be that accurate, you know, temperature wise.
I was kinda curious about that myself.
I wonder.
Okay, now the last step here is, run the command to access your sensor and get the reading off of it, and, get that back to the Pi. I'll leave this up on the screen so everyone can see it.
So Dave, what was the solution of the sudo Python set up pi.install?
It seems to still work
Yeah.
even with that error.
Yeah.
Yeah, the error is just that it's checking for a driver. So it'd be an Adafruit package problem. It's just checking for the driver, and that check fails. But the code all works.
Alright, I have a little problem getting it all to display on one line. Let me try one more time here. Yeah. Okay, so what you see here is, this is the command sudo adafruit pi space 2302, and here's a little side note about the 2302. That's the actual device that that we're connecting to. I looked it up, and the difference between a DHT22 and a 2302 is in Adafruit, they sell a DHT22 that has leads on it, and they sell that as model 2302.
Yeah, the part number on the back of my card is the 2302. It's
Is it?
printed on the back of the card also.
Did yours come with leads?
This is 2302.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the only. Wow, yours looks a little bigger too.
It's the same hardware.
Yeah.
Same
So yeah,
hardware.
same
They
thing
put it
on
in
the
the case.
inside.
Yeah.
Different case and it's got leads on it. So that's where the 2302 comes from.
It's like a-
And the 4 is that's referencing GPIO pin 4. So you're running the command Adafruit DHT.py, passing 2 parameters, 2302 is the model number, and 4 as the GPIO pin number. And when we do that, we see that it is 22.0 degrees in here, with 60.1% humidity. Did anyone get any close numbers to that? Close, different? What? Shout out what you got.
22.6, 59.
Okay. Anybody else?
23.
23?
24.7.
24. You must be in a hot spot.
I said the fan from the computer.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. You know, the way the air's flowing through the room. All right. Did anybody not get this to work? Okay. All right. Well, that wraps up the DHT22 portion, and I'm thinking it's just in time.
I need your signature, please.
Ah, perfect. All right, cool. This could not have timed out any better. Does anyone have any questions on the DHT22?
We're gonna look at the code.
I will get you.
Any questions at all?
Like, what was all the stuff we just compiled? So for all the workshops, we had some very simple scripts. So what was all the stuff we compiled and installed up to make all this work, as opposed to like what we did on all the other ones?
With this one, because of the sensors that we're using, they required different packages to install in the OS.
Okay.
That's really the only reason that what we've done up to this point, we haven't needed any of these packages.
I'm guessing that Python isn't fast enough to do the driver part, and you need it to read that pulse width. You need it to be fast enough to.
Well, so Adafruit does have a Python API. So basically, that's what you're installing. So when you do the, let me pull up the commands.
Does anybody have a pen?
I do. I should. Hopefully, in my backpack.
You want to toss it to
Nope, I
you?
don't.
Oh, my eye!
So
That's
if you-
okay, I got another one just like it.
Okay, so okay, so the first package that we installed. Yeah, so build essentials, that's C compiler stuff. Okay, so that's like CMake, it's the GNU compiler.
Okay.
Can I get a volunteer to run out with her and grab the pizzas?
Then there was the to install Python dev, that's the Python development tools. So that you could have Python interface with hardware.
Oh, okay.
And then the Python OpenSSL, that's Python API for OpenSSL stuff.
Okay.
The reason that you need Build Essential is when you go to install, so the reason you need Build Essential is when you run that sudo python setup.py install, there's actually compiled information part of that. So that's installing, it's pre-compiling all of the Adafruit API stuff for you.
Okay.
And so then when you run this example, Adafruit DHT.py, that's running a script that's calling their drivers. So the difference, so we've been using, so for this stuff, we've been using pure Python. In the other stuff, where we use mini conda, one of the benefits of mini conda is you get these pre-compiled binaries of Python stuff.
Okay,
And so when you do things like a conda install, you don't need to compile it, it's already compiled for your platform.
okay. So we could do this in the condos?
No, well, sort of. We would have had to install the Adafruit stuff into a Python virtual environment under Conda.
Okay,
As far as I'm aware, Conda doesn't have any of this hardware stuff.
okay, got it.
So that's why we had to use pure Python.
Okay, cool.
You see it?
Has anyone had a problem with, I just started using the file, like, this is my second time connecting to it, it says one or most identification has changed. Has anyone seen that error before?
If you could hold that thought for just a second, we're gonna, if there, does anyone have any other questions on the DHT 22?
check my idea first.
Alright, well, we're gonna pause and take a short break here, we just got the pizza come in, so yeah, grab a beer, grab a Coke, grab some pizza, and, we'll see if we can figure out what you got going on there. Thank you.
Thank you.